Hi, my name is Connor Andrew Mclaughlin. I'm a hopeful Eagle Scout candidate, or I'm working on my Eagle Scout rank currently. And for my Eagle Scout project, I am in the middle of submitting my Eagle Scout project proposal, and I'd like to go through it. The name for the project is Wildlife Transition Enclosure, and it is in collaboration with Tiny Wonders Wildlife Rescue, who will use the enclosure to help facilitate them rehabilitating injured squirrels and baby animals and all sorts of very cool things. For the description and benefit, it aims to provide an extremely strong and long-lasting enclosure similar to a chicken coop, but with thick wire walls, a sturdy roof, and all the walls will be see-through mesh. Well, heavy welded wire. We hope to build one with enough space for roughly 10 to 12 squirrels. The outdoor habitat will help the animals transition to the outdoors, and it will let the caretakers give increasingly lower care levels while ensuring that they're outside and still benefiting from it. I plan to begin carrying out the project around July 11th. That means, I think that means actually starting to build. And I think the project will be complete around July 31st, at the very latest. For giving leadership, I plan to give several opportunities to my friends, teacher, and other people who I am able to recruit. I can send emails to various adults and text or use a similar contact method to contact my friends about it. The most difficult thing about leading them, for me, I believe, will be directing them gently enough, but also firmly enough, so that the enclosure is made according to what it needs to be, and trying to be firm enough with them to stay on blueprint. I am additionally normally very silly and fun-focused with my friends, so it will be hard. It will be definitely a thing to work on to stay on task with my friends. For the materials I will need will be galvanized wire, galvanized square wire steel mesh, 2x4 wood beams, additional sized wood beams, additionally fasteners and nails, and some type of covering for the wooden beams. The supplies I'll need will be hydration, food, and tools to all help the volunteers and me as well likely build the enclosure, and tarps to make sure that we don't to help have a good building and other building area. Safety equipment like gloves, glasses, helmets, sunscreen, and a power supply for the tools or lights or for communications. Specifically for the tools, we'll need several various power tools, but hammers and wire cutters and some type of saw for the wooden beams. We'll need a space to put the finished product in, but we'll also need we'll need to access several platforms. I will need to access several platforms in order to help fundraise the entire project as well. The main permits and permissions will just be related to ensuring that where we put the enclosure and where we are able to access fundraising platforms are legal, and we don't infringe on anything that would be illegal or bad to touch. The preliminary cost estimate is under $2,000, and we're thinking between $1,250 and $2,000. For the materials, below $1,000, and supplies below $500. And for the tools, we're looking to mainly get by through donations by utilizing either my school's tools or other friends and family and close members of the community. For fundraising, I'm mainly going to I'm mainly going to reach out to friends and family first, but then also additionally to online sources, like providing a GoFundMe for the, not for me, but for the project, and also farmers market for and then I will also reach out to farmers market, and I can play my violin, or we could even host like a baking sale or something. So that all fits into the project phase, which will go something like planning the entire project, getting it officially, getting all the approval needed to start work on it, setting up the necessary resources and social connections needed for it, and then we will begin fundraising all of the necessary money. Then that money will be used to buy and gather all the materials and supplies needed, and we can use that to help to know what we need for setting up areas for working, and then the actual building can start, and after that we can just put the final finished enclosure in the space that we find, and they can start using it to help transition rehabilitated animals, specifically squirrels and other such creatures, into the forest. So this will all be made possible through a robust communication network, and the actual logistics of driving around can be through just self-driving and all that stuff. The safety issues are standard tool incurred hazards such as puncturing, cutting, smashing, and then like elemental exposure to the hot sun. Will need sunscreen for that, and cold will probably provide like hats or something similar, and toxins from like paint or something, we can provide masks, which will also factor in additionally to costs. Then for project planning, I will need to finalize a blueprint and cost estimate. I will also need to get the space finalized for where the actual enclosure will end up and where the in-between steps can take place, and ensuring that the phases of my project are more well planned out. And yeah, thank you so much.